Peace and what's up, world. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. May be one full of blessings and prosperity in physical, mental, and spiritual ways. But just jumping in here, this video is actually inspired by two people on two separate occasions asking me about the same holster. It's not this holster, and my caveat is I've never tried the holster that they asked me about, but they asked for my feedback and I gave it, and I'm going to share that feedback with you. That holster was an Urban Carry G2, and here are three reasons as to why I couldn't really, endorse it, if you will. And I'll play a clip here showing how it's drawn. I might pull this from Urban Carry's site. I hope you guys don't mind. It's for educational purposes. All right. So the first thing I didn't like about the holster is there's no rigid caddy or holder to draw your firearm from. I think having a rigid anchor point is critical. Just to conceal carry in general, one of the aspects next to shooting, I think you have to, or two of the aspects you should really practice is drawing, presenting your firearm from concealment. Practice that over and over and over again. And I think your proficiency should be to the point where you can draw and put accurate rounds on target, maybe 10 yards or so, within a second. Stretch it to 1.5 seconds, but have high standards, especially carrying concealed. Push yourself, train yourself, have high standards. The second thing I didn't like, so first was I didn't like there's no hard anchor point to draw from. The second's directly related to that. There's no hard anchor point to reholster into. If you do need to draw from concealment, maybe you do or don't have to fire, but I suspect you probably have to move really fast. And I didn't like the fact, from what I could tell, I've never tried the holster again, but it looks like it wouldn't be as straightforward to holster and move as a rigid bloop holster. The third thing I didn't like is after you drew the weapon, it kind of, the leather flap on the Urban Carry just kind of flops around. And I didn't think that was a good look. I mean, maybe it's inconsequential, but for me, I think, I personally wouldn't like to have to deal with that. I draw my tool, I'm using it, whatever, and I've got to move left, I've got to, squat, I've got to do this, do that, and I've got this 18-inch flap of leather in my front. I really don't like that, and I think those are very valid and important points, at least for me personally. This is my opinion. Everyone has their own, and they've got other things too, but this is just my 2 cents. Carrying a firearm without a good holster for me is almost like carrying a live bladed knife, fixed blade knife with no sheath. I mean, it can damage yourself and other people. It's not a good look. But this is a holster I carry. This is made by Minotaur. Carried this about 4 years daily. It's a hybrid holster. I got this in 2008. I don't carry it daily now. I do use it pretty frequently. One thing I didn't like, and it's a good example of, you got to adapt and solve problems as you go. Solid, comfortable, retained well. When I was using this, actually, I thought, for the type of places I am and things, maybe an appendix holster might be better. But there's pros and cons to this. I carry this in my 3 to 4. Sometimes I did carry appendix with this holster. As you can see, it's a canted holster. I don't know if you can tell. So if these belt clips are straight, the pistol will actually cant up. But it has a squeak. I'm not sure if you can hear that. I'll put it up here. There you go. And I put this piece of tape here to stop that squeak. Details are important. Details matter. Details, they do matter. So I taped over that to prevent that noise. And if you are in a situation around people and you carry and you know that noise, and you're around people and you think they might be carrying and you hear that noise when they move, granted, this is on your waist, so what you think is not much of a movement, it's kind of amplified by the fact that your belt is pushing up against this, you have a firearm in there. So even just kind of shifting a little bit, you'll get that squeak. And that's a sure way, or I mean, it could just be a belt, but you're gonna keep your eye on that person when you hear them squeaking, moving. So I taped over it. But this video wasn't about this holster in particular. It was kind of a spur of the moment thing, and it was for that specific holster, the Urban Carry, and those are my 3 reasons. So again, no hard anchor points to draw from. I think it's imperative to have your grip set, and I also like full sweat guards on holsters so I can kind of index my thumb on the back, and I have my finger off the trigger as I draw. But a hard point to get a consistent grip to me is absolutely important. The second thing was there wasn't a hard point to resheath. And the third thing was the fact that the holster seemed unsupported once you drew from concealment and it was kind of flopping around. But like I said, I mean, I never used it. I look forward to your feedback. Have you used it? Do you like it? And again, it does seem like it is a tool for certain people in certain situations. For me, in my dealings in daily life, I don't see that. But just my 2 cents. And I think, I mean, carrying whatever you carry, it's important to practice with it. You can even do dry exercises, just practice drawing from concealment. Go slow, get your shirt out the way, different things, and reholstering. You can practice dry firing too, but I think really probably more important than your equipment per se is practice, 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 practice. And part of practicing isn't necessarily just to do the same thing over and over again. Granted, it helps so you have a muscle memory, but it's also a way of allowing yourself to make contingencies when you need to on the fly. So yeah, just another tidbit. We're at 7 minutes, but why not? I've seen videos saying, or different people saying, martial arts are kind of inconsequential. There's no need to do all of this training because you're not really a fighter, da da da. And that, I think there's some good points to that. But one of the reasons for practicing, in my opinion, and maybe you could go the other way too, where it could get you in a dogma and you think in terms of boxes, you think inside of boxes. But in my opinion, one of the pivotal benefits of practicing is the fact that when you are, confronted with a situation, because you've practiced so much, and because hopefully you've practiced different scenarios, instead of saying I have this one method to address a situation, you already have 20 different methods you practice in your toolbox per se. And I'm not saying practice something different every day, but practicing, staying consistent with your practice. In my opinion, it allows you to better use your body more efficiently. Depending on the type of scenarios you go through, it allows you to think efficiently. And I've been blessed to participate in classes where people teach me different things, or like the learning environments, I should say. And not everyone has that, but push yourself to better yourself. Go find those courses. Like I said, I think it's important to present in a very, very fast time and accurately put rounds on target. That's, in my opinion, I think, seconds matter, half a seconds matter. So yeah, but that was it, world. My opinion on the Urban Carry G2. This video went on for very long, but like I said, it was inspired by other people. And the second person that asked me about it, they said they're still going to get the holster, and I was like, do you? But on top of that, I got real verbose, or I was starting to speak a lot because I thought it was important, my opinions, and they heard them. But when it comes to firearms and firearm training, you got to practice. And for me, having a holster that's consistent, where I can anchor my firearm consistently, is really important. But that's it today for Today World, 9-minute video. Damn! But had to get the point out. And like I said, if you carry Urban Carry, leave a comment, tell me what you like, what you don't. And that's it, world. Be safe, be healthy. Peace.